Hello, this is Robert Pultz. How are you guys doing today? Let me get everything all set up here. Okay, we're again doing Google Notebook, and now we're going to do a research plan. And this is for Big Burma, who asked for a research plan. Don't normally do research plans, as I've said before, but this is the way I would do it today. Uh, so anyway, just to start off with, I'm neither a professional nor an expert genealogist, just an amateur like you. These are collaborative efforts. They're called vlogs. So I'll show you what I've been doing, and maybe you'll make suggestions on ways I can do it better. This is not necessarily how you do it, but it's the way I do it. And I'm looking for changes and upgrades to my method. I want to thank everybody that's been doing that, been giving me help. I've got a lot of viewers on this channel, and a lot more than I expected. And there has been a lot of help. I do these videos so that people that view my presentations say I go too fast sometimes, and so they can take and slow them down and rewind them and do stuff like that. And this will probably be in a presentation that I'm doing in the January timeframe. All views expressed are mine. I'm a member of 5 genealogy and historical societies currently. I don't represent any of them. And I do administer these two named websites, Facebook sites. So come join the conversation there. It'll be very much like what we're doing today. This was specifically a request from Big Burma that came in on my YouTube channel. It's also continuing my family question on Irish and Scottish research. So I'm killing two birds with one stone. Okay, the prompt sources that I'm going to be using for a research plan. First one came from Linda Morgan Clark. She's the Muskogee Genealogy Group. She gave me a number of AI prompts, and this was from her collection. It's titled 10-Step Research Plan from New Discovery. I don't know who New Discovery is, or I'd give them credit. The second prompt that I'm going to be using and showing you, I won't show you the prompt, but I will show you the results. Came from the best AI prompts for genealogy research for Thomas McGinty. And the third is my prompt. I took a look at this and said, hey, I've been giving you my prompts, so and I'll give you that one. I'll give you a sample of what I've done there. There's also a fourth one which consolidates all the output from all three of these. Felt like maybe AI should do that. I got to validate that yet, so adjustments I made to this has all been made to Thomas McGinty's prompt, page 51, prompt 9.4 research report. I'm going to replace the summary of research with the research log that we've been developing as we've gone along through the series. So what are we going to demo? I'm going to demo what I've already done. I'm going to show you the results for the 3 prompts, share the prompt I developed, and how I consolidated the 3 prompt outputs. Okay. So let's go up here. This is Thomas McGinty's. So this is the output as a professional genealogist. Evaluate the source. Objective is to move between her parents. Basically, Susanna Fair and her parents. I want to take and right now she is as you if you've viewed the video on connectivity, they're in a medium category right now. I don't have a solid connection there, so. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not Thomas McGinty. This is Linda Morgan Clark's. So I wrote. It writes 10 clarifying questions. Have you located the marriage record? Have you searched for probate? Have you checked early land records? Are surviving church and baptismal memberships records? And have you evaluated the DNA? Okay, and then it goes through and prioritizes the steps. And So it gave me the exhaustive extraction of existing compiled and secondary sources. So it's given me places to take and go, record types, time frames, and repositories. Okay. And then search county probate and estate records for William Casper Fair and Anna Mary. Anna Mary. I never do. I stumble over that every time. I don't know why. It just doesn't roll off your tongue, does it? Um, so these are the types of records that it recommended for that. And then examine county deed and land records. So these are in priority order. And so see if there are additional records out there. So I'm going to spend a lot of time around Indiana courthouses, Indiana County, Pennsylvania courthouses, not the state of Indiana. And then church records and where to find them, and search for the early federal, state, and parental household records. And this is using the National Archives Family Search and Ancestry. And then early tax assessments and the county taxes and so on. And then local newspaper and a blue obit searches for William and Anna Mary. Since this is getting pretty old, that's going to be interesting to see if that can be found. And cemetery and sections records, surveys of collateral. And the final was a DNA cluster analysis. And I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. I'm really not good at DNA and this kind of stuff. So that was the result of Linda Morgan Clark's. And so let's go back. Okay, that was Now, okay, the next one. Okay, this is what Thomas McGinty's prompt came up with. And it was this is the output from it. Gave a nice research question. It's inventory and the search log, including the negative and null results. So he's gone through item by item. I frankly didn't give this 1829 newspaper notice that a letter was waiting for her that much evidence. That is very close to her birth date. If a child received a letter waiting for them, and that was the way in which post office notified you that there were letter, they didn't deliver in those days. In some places, they'd post it in the newspaper, and you'd go pick it up at the post office. So she got some sort of like a card. I got cards when I was a baby, and I have my grandfather sent me cards, so I have copies of those, and the originals are in the Oklahoma History Society collection that I gave to him. So it's possible that that's what was going on. That was something that was done in the 1800s, was to send a card to a child that's just been born. So you got the 1850 federal census. So this goes down through each one of the sources that I've identified, and shows what's there. And then these are negative records here, and they don't exist in the sources. So that's the reason why they do that. So logical preservation of evidence. Okay. So this is what you get from Thomas McGinty's. I'm trying to decide which one of these I like the best, or whether I'm going to do my own. And I did my own, and the next one will be my own. So see, this is a blue tier, and they want to make it a green tier on my strength of connections. Here's another blue tier. They're both blue tiers. And what we're trying to do is make them green tiers. So this is a probate search. This is the next steps. So this is the research plan. And then also they're doing a DNA cluster analysis. Okay. All righty. Now let's see. That's this one and this one. Now, I wrote my own, and I will show that to you. Okay. How are you are a professional genealogist who follows the genealogical proof standard. So I've written the question, and I said consolidate and summarize uh, these. And then output 2 is address any conflicting or ambiguous evidence. And 3 applies the genealogical proof standard and help me resolve the conflicts. So the summary of research logs and lineage evaluation. Let's see, we're blue again. This is the connection to Kennedy, Martha Bell Kennedy. And then there's blue for each of the parents. So basically, we need to take and do that conflict. There's minor discrepancies, no major conflicts. Okay, now let's get into the proof. This is the part that's the actual research plan. Okay, so this is the kind of information I need to find, and there's the 2 gaps that I'm dealing with. So it takes and puts all the records that you're looking for. It starts out with church records and then probate records and delayed birth certificates. So this is essentially the same thing that the other one found, just in a different order. So, all right. So what do I do with that? Well, what I do with that is I take that and I put that in my research log here under notes. So here's the last one that you can take and see. Okay. And then I took this and did a research, produced a research plan from it. Just come over here and do this and come down here and generate the report, research log. And that's my research log. Okay. So I took that research log from there, put that down, and I tried to summarize it. Okay. So this is what I did. You're a professional genealogist who follows the genealogical proof standard, consolidate and summarize. Now, that's the log I just built for all the recommendations for additional research. Output in priority order each of the recommendations, all repositories that inventory that item, address, URL, contact information for each repository. Okay. Okay. It's based on this research file, which I just showed you how I built. Recommendations for additional research required to exclusively link Susanna Bell to her parents and to her children. Okay. Okay. Planned exhaustive local probate orphans court record search. So that's the first priority that this prompt sees as need to be done. So it's talking about a deep dive and a manual review of Indiana County's orphan court dockets, in state papers, wills, land partition records, 1840 to 1870, for William Casper to identify any equity settlements, guardian appointments, or heir distributions explicitly named married daughters such as Susanna Bell. And the repositories it's suggesting is the Indiana County Courthouse. Look for wills, registers of wills, clerks, and orphans. And then the Historical and Genealogical Society of Indiana County. And they have identified addresses and so on for that. I'll have to check those addresses out and make sure I'm not uh, uh, making up stuff here. I have not done that yet. And then church and parish registers and baptismal examination for Indiana County. Okay, locate Lutheran or German Reformed Church records in Indiana. Such records associated with Brother Peter Sham. Peter Sham is one of the network people that shows up in when you were trying to do a fan research. And that to identify baptismal or christening entities for Susanna Fair. Okay. And the repositories for that are the Historical and Genealogical Society of Indiana County, which is the same one as this one up here. And then the Pennsylvania State Archives, which is new, and the Family Search Library, which is new. So church records are not likely to appear at the Indiana courthouse. So, all right. And then the third was delayed birth and death registrations. And this is in Kansas for Douglas County, Kansas. So the Kansas Historical Society and the Douglas County Clerk and Registry of Deeds. Kansas Historical Society has a lot of information, and I've used them for other records that I've needed. So then land migration and deed records, Indiana Recorder of Deeds, Douglas County Register of Deeds, and Pennsylvania State Archives is what it's recommending there. Then cemetery and sexton records, surveys for collateral relatives, find a grave, and Indiana Historical Society local cemetery associations. Okay. Then it does autosomal DNA cluster research. So it's done this, and I happen to have DNA in all three of these. So I have to take and understand cluster research better than I do to take and do this. All right, so that is what I did, and basically I've got a lot of work to do on Suzanne Fair, but I'm not really planning on doing it right now. This was enough to get me to this point. My main goal is to take and get this back to Ireland and Scotland on this suggestive line, and I'm willing to take a medium at this point and go back. But I do have my research plan laid out, and I hope that that satisfies my viewer, and I appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys' questions. So, all righty. Y'all have a great day. I do appreciate your time.